Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Captain Elena Villanueva, and I will be your narrator for the graduation of Class 2406. Please rise for the entrance of the official party and remain standing for the rendering of honors, the national anthem, and the invocation. Chaplain McDaniel, please come forward to deliver the invocation.
Good morning. Join me in prayer. Gracious God, thank you for the opportunity to gather together to honor these fine airmen who have done so well in their training. They worked extremely hard to earn their wings, which they'll receive in this graduating ceremony today, joining the ranks of aviators who came before. I thank you for their accomplishments and their commitment to serve. I'm grateful for their families and friends who have supported them along the way. I thank you for the leaders, cadres, and instructors who have trained them and set a firm foundation for them to build on in their follow-on training. They'll leave here with competencies and skills, relationships that they've forged, and many experiences that will aid them in their careers and their warfighting capabilities. You ready them to face whatever lies before them, grant them strength and wisdom. And I ask that you will be with them both in and out of harm's way, and that you will be with all of our airmen and service members here at home and abroad. May we remember the price that has been paid for our freedom, grant us the courage to preserve it willingly, even with our lives. This I ask in your most holy name, amen.
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, I present the commander of the 23rd Flying Training Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Daniel Coughlin.
Good afternoon. Warm welcome to our families, friends, and distinguished guests of the 23rd Flying Training Squadron. First, I would like to begin by thanking the Army Aviation Museum for hosting our ceremony, as well as the Garrison and Army Aviation Center of Excellence for their daily support and partnership. We could not do our mission without them. I would also like to recognize and thank key members of the 23rd team for their efforts in getting this class across the goal line. The 23rd Operations Officer, Lieutenant Colonel Cindy Tope, the 23rd Senior Enlisted Leader, Master Sergeant Eric McElroy, representing our Amentum team, Mr. Brian Braden, along with the Amentum instructors of Class 2406, representing the Order of Dedallions, Mr. Kyle Taylor, representing our M1 maintenance team, Mr. Archie Godwin. Also, a very special thanks to Chaplain McDaniel for the invocation, 2406's Flight Commander, Captain Villanueva, Miss Anita Valdez, Lieutenant Johnston, Tech Sergeant Mahone, the MTLs, and the 23rd Front Office team, as well as the merry band of lieutenants who made the ceremony happen today. Very happy, and thank you very much for all your help. The mission of the 23rd Flying Training Squadron is to train undergraduate aircrew members in foundational vertical lift operations. We are here today to celebrate another mission accomplishment as these 7 officers successfully completed the rigors of undergraduate helicopter training. These officers benefited from the leadership and professionalism of the squadron's contractor, civilian, and military personnel. The 23rd is full of true professionals providing world-class service. I'd like to ask all of our 23 FTS cadre and mission partners in the audience to please stand up so we can recognize you. There's a lot of folks that didn't stand, and I'm looking at that back row, my FEs. Thank you to all the 23rd personnel and teammates for your dedication to the mission and getting these young aviators to the stage today. Finally, to the friends and families of our graduates, this is not the first and certainly will not be the last significant accomplishment they will have as they progress in their Air Force careers. It is the strong foundation and years of your guidance and support that have gotten them here today. Thank you for everything you have done and will do to ensure they continue to excel in our Air Force. The graduation speaker today is Colonel Joshua Jackson, the Deputy Wing Commander for the 58th Special Operations Wing, Kirtland Air Force Base, New Mexico. As Deputy Wing Commander, Colonel Jackson oversees 3 groups, 12 squadrons, and is tasked to accomplish undergraduate helicopter training, that's us, graduate flying training for special operations, personnel recovery and DV airlift aircrew, and Air Force survival school training. It is a very busy wing, spread across all of the United States. Colonel Jackson earned his commission from Air Force ROTC at Texas Tech University, which I've been told is the best university, might be a slightly biased opinion, in 2002. He is a command pilot with more than 2,900 flight hours and 600 combat hours. He is a graduate of the Air Force Weapons School and has flown multiple aircraft throughout his career, including the T-37, the C-12, the HC-130P, the HC-130J, the MC-130P, the MC-130J, and as of today, our mighty TH-1 Huey, which I heard went very well. He has been an aircraft instructor and evaluator and has served a decorated career both as an aviator and as a leader. Sir, thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here with us today. Very happy for you to share your wisdom and experience with our graduates. Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel Jackson.
All right. Well, thank you very much for that kind introduction. Texas Tech is the best university in West Texas. It's undisputed. I think there's a community college out there that we were neck and neck with. But, well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'll start with just a quick question for the graduates. You think that you're going to get your pilot wings today, which you are, but you thought you were done with your EPEs and your check rides. But I had one more question for you before we get started. And that is, what is the equation for lift? Does anybody know the equation for lift? Yeah. Because we are limited on time, I'm going to give it to you. Lift equals the coefficient of lift, which is basically the shape of the wing times half the density times the velocity squared times the surface of the wing area in square feet. Everybody remember that from the first day at pilotry? Good. I asked that question because despite my over 2 decades of flying and thousands of accident-free hours, I have no earthly idea how that equation even remotely applies to rotary wing aircraft. Instead, I feel like helicopter designers forgot the basics of physics and stated, we're going to spin this rotor so hard and fast that we'll beat physics into submission and force flight. As the great aviation pioneer Tom Clancy stated, helicopters don't fly, they vibrate so badly the ground rejects them. However, the outcome is a beautiful sight to see and hear. More to follow on that later. I want to thank to the team for the 23rd FTS for organizing today's monumentous event. Lieutenant Colonel Coughlin, Lieutenant Colonel Tope, Senior Master Sergeant McElroy, thank you so much for inviting me and hosting me this week as I finally get a chance to cut my teeth in the mighty TH-1 here at Fort Novosel and Cairns Army Airfield. To the parents and the in-laws with us today, I hope each of you is proud of what your young men have accomplished. There's a reason the United States Air Force is peerless in the skies. It starts with the quality of the airmen you have raised and sent us, and graciously allowed us to break down and build back up to the professional aviators envied around the world. You should sleep well at night knowing your children have proved themselves worthy of meeting any demand this great nation calls upon. Your children will likely not ask you not to continuously brag about their accomplishments, but don't let that deter you. Get on your MyBook and your FaceSpace and your Twitter and your Instagram. Go to your neighbor's house, put a massive banner in your front yard, and tell the world of what your child has accomplished over the last 11 months. Because despite your kids probably getting embarrassed, you can do whatever you want, and you deserve it. To the children and the spouses and the fiancés with us today, Emma, John Lee, Helen, Aubrey, and Molly, the long push has subsided, and you can take a collective breath. It has been hard on your spouse this year, that is a given, but many lose sight of the strain these courses can induce on the family. Long nights studying, distractions during conversations, the constant shop talk about how the sortie went today, sometimes make it feel like you've taken a backseat to a career. If that feeling is valid, know that you are not alone, and it will subside. Take the next few weeks or the next few months to stop thinking about and talking about flying with your husband and your fiancé, and start spending some quality time together. Start thinking about what you're going to do when you PCS, where you're going to live, the hobbies that you're going to get into, and start thinking about all the fun you're going to have when we get you back out to Albuquerque. Know that your sacrifices over the past year were just as crucial as your spouse's, and without your dedication, they couldn't have been successful. To today's graduates, congratulations. You've just accomplished arguably the most challenging training in your Air Force career. Remember what it took to make you successful. Whether you're moving on to Hueys, Whiskies, or Ospreys, the Air Force will continue to challenging you to improve. Take advantage of an opportunity to learn something new. Pass your wisdom and your experiences, and push those around you to improve constantly. You're now professional aviators, and you have a duty to yourself, your unit, and your profession to demand excellence. And you will never know when you will be called on to perform some of the most challenging missions this country has ever seen. I know because I've seen your predecessors do it. I spent all of my career around professionals such as you. I led a team of CV-22 Ospreys through the longest hostage rescue mission in the history of the United States of America on only 24 hours notice. I saw the vertical lift community's professionalism and culture when planning and executing demanding missions at a moment's notice. That excellence isn't developed on the fly. If you wait until the mission calls to decide to be the best vertical lift pilot in the unit, you're woefully late to the game. Success favors those who study and perfect their craft. Success favors those who build organizations of aviators who appreciate and challenge one another to get better. The road to excellence is long, but as rewarding as your accomplishments today. As you and your families move on to the next chapter of your aviation career, I want to leave you with 3 things I wish I kind of would have known when I was a young lieutenant coming out of pilot training. First, throw out the book on what you think a perfect career will look like. This career has more unexpected twists and turns than you can imagine. There's no set way to execute an Air Force career, as the country and the enemy get a vote on what the future of the Air Force will look like. So remain flexible and never pass up an opportunity to have fun at your current job, and don't stress about your future job. 2, read, 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 and read some more. Well-read officers often have a good idea of what's happening and the why, and can explain the why behind the strategic, operational, and tactical level decisions that your Air Force is making. And it'll help you translate those to your teams. Understand where our adversaries plan to take their countries, their militaries, and their regional and global influences. This can help you predict how you need to train now and in the future. Third, find the time to take care of yourself and your family. Self-care was built into your syllabus here, and it'll be built into your syllabus at your next FTU. But once you get to your operational unit, that's not the case. Whether you're planning an 8 or a 30-year career, this journey will end for us all at some point, and we don't want you to come out of this as a broken shell of what you are today. The 2 things that you'll have left when you leave the service are your body and your family. Do not neglect them. I made the mistake of thinking I was bulletproof in my 20s, and I I neglected some of the nagging injuries that I had. And I'm going to be spending the next couple decades dealing with those nagging injuries because I didn't deal with them at the time. I was afraid I was going to get grounded. Don't let that happen to you. Use the resources that we provide you. Take care of your family and take care of yourselves for the long haul so you can get through this marathon. Okay, last thing. As I said, Hilo or Osprey is arguably one of the most beautiful aircraft in the world. The sounds are very distinct. So much so that my current job at Albuquerque, I get to take phone calls from the community every time one of your distinctly sounding aircraft fly over their houses at about 50 feet. I've been accused of everything from Geneva Convention violations to the Great Thanksgiving Turkey Day Massacre of 2021, which was actually a Brit C-17. But despite each complaint I get from the community, I always reply with an old Tom Waits quote. I'm always looking for sounds that are pleasing at the time. The sound of a helicopter is really annoying until you are drowning and it's there to rescue you. Then it sounds like music. Congratulations to you all, and I am honored to serve with each and every one of you. Thank you for your time.
At this time, Class 2406 will receive their wings and certificates. First Lieutenant Matthew Klein was born and raised in Douglasville, Georgia. He graduated from Mississippi State in 2021 with a Bachelor's of Arts in Political Science. He earned his commission from Air Force Reserve Officer Training Corps Detachment 425. Lieutenant Klein's first assignment will be flying the UH-1N at the 40th Helicopter Squadron at Malmstrom Air Force Base, Montana. He'll be receiving his wings from his father, Michael Klein, his mother, Pam Klein, and his uncle, Major Retired Walter Young, Jr. First Lieutenant Cameron Cooksey was born and raised in Longwood, Florida. He graduated from the University of Central Florida in 2021 with a Bachelor's of Science in Integrated Business. He earned his commission from Air Force Reserve Officer Training Corps Detachment 159. Lieutenant Cooksey's first assignment will be flying the UH-1N in the 1st Helicopter Squadron at Andrews Air Force Base, Maryland. He'll be receiving his wings from his fiancée, Aubrey Holt, and his parents, Lee and Stephanie Cooksey. First Lieutenant Stephen Epp was born and raised in Olympia, Washington. He graduated from Grand Canyon University with a Bachelor's of Science in Business Administration. He earned his commission from Air Force Reserve Officer Training Corps Detachment 25. Lieutenant Epp's first assignment will be flying the UH-1N in the 36th Rescue Squadron at Fairchild Air Force Base, Washington. He'll be receiving his wings from his wife, Emma Epp, father, Gary Epp, mother, Vicki Epp, and brother, Gary Epp. First Lieutenant Brolin Jennings was born and raised in Kalamazoo, Michigan. He graduated from the University of Tampa in 2021 with a Bachelor of Science in Physics. He earned his commission from the Air Force Reserve Officer Training Corps, Detachment 158. Lieutenant Jennings will be flying the UH-1N at Minot Air Force Base, North Dakota, with the 54th Helicopter Squadron. Lieutenant Jennings will be receiving his wings from his wife, Jameli Breton, sister, Morgan Jennings, dad, Troy Jennings, stepmom, Jody Jennings, mom, Wendy Jennings, and stepdad, Jeff Frank. First Lieutenant Evan Michaels was born and raised in Williston, Vermont. He graduated from Montana State University in 2021 with a Bachelor's of Science in Civil Engineering. He earned his commission through the Air Force Reserve Officer Training Corps, Detachment 450. Lieutenant Michaels' first assignment will be flying the HH-60 Whiskey in the 56th Rescue Squadron at Aviano Air Base, Italy. He'll be receiving his wings from his mothers, Kathy Michaels and Karen Rounds, and his cousins, CW4 Kevin LeBlanc and Thane LeBlanc. First Lieutenant Jared Rotunda was born and raised in Burnt Hills, New York. He graduated from Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in 2021 with a Bachelor's of Science in Aerospace Engineering. He earned his commission from the Air Force Reserve Officer Training Corps, Detachment 157. Lieutenant Rotunda's first assignment will be flying the CV-22 in the 58th Training Squadron at Kirtland Air Force Base, New Mexico. He'll be receiving his wings from his wife, Helen Rotunda, his father, Scott Rotunda, and his mother, Denise Rotunda. Second Lieutenant Max Durchie was born and raised in Anchorage, Alaska. He graduated from Montana State University in 2019 with a Bachelor's of Science in Business Management. He earned his commission from Air Force Officer Training School in 2023. Lieutenant Durchie's first assignment will be flying the HH-60 Golf in the 210th Rescue Squadron at Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson, Alaska. He'll be receiving his wings from his fiancée, Molly Lukes, and mother, Heather Durchie. At this time, Lieutenant Colonel Coughlin will present the awards for Class 2406. The Military Leadership Award is an award based on military bearing, integrity, leadership, professionalism, and dedication. Each student in the graduating class, along with the staff of the 23rd Flying Training Squadron, provides their input to the commander. The commander then selects the most deserving student for this award. The recipient of the Military Leadership Award is First Lieutenant Evan Michaels. The Academic Award is presented to the individual who best exemplifies the highest standards of excellence through self-study, testing, and academic evaluation. The students are tested in 6 demanding subject areas. The recipient of the Academic Award is First Lieutenant Evan Michaels. The Flying Training Award is presented to the graduating student with the highest flying grade point average throughout helicopter flight training. The recipient of the Flying Training Award is First Lieutenant Stephen Epp. The Distinguished Graduate Award is presented to the graduating student with the highest overall percentage grade compiled from their academic scores, their flying scores, and their flight commander's rankings. The recipient of the Distinguished Graduate Award is First Lieutenant Stephen Epp. At this time, Dedallion's Silver Wings Flight Representative, Mr. Kyle Taylor, will come forward to present the Order of Dedallion's AETC Commander's Trophy. This award is given to a graduating student who clearly demonstrates superior airmanship and those several qualities unique to Dedallion's. The recipient of the Order of Dedallion's AETC Commander's Trophy Award is First Lieutenant Stephen Epp. At this time, Class 2406 will now come forward to present a few gifts.
Colonel Jackson, we'd like to say thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come here and speak with us today. This is a small token, and thank you from the class of 2406.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the United States Air Force's newest helicopter pilots, Helicopter Training Next, Class 2406. Please stand and remain standing for the Air Force song and the departure of the official party. This concludes the graduation ceremony. We invite you to join Lieutenant Colonel Coughlin in congratulating Class 2406. Thank you for joining us today.